All right. Hello, hello all. Welcome back. We've got Chaos Child tonight. Mona's not feeling super well, so go tell them, to get well soon. Um, but yeah, so we are on Uki's route. We are finally on Uki's route. It took us forever to get there. Didn't help that I fucked up the first time, but that's okay. So let's recap really quick before we get into it, because we didn't really get into it much last time. So in order to get the butterfly route, we kept imagining lots of murder until it was time for the return of Weasel Scythe and the death of our sister. Poor Yui. Rest in peace. I was so excited. I thought we were going to get more Yui and Uki fun, and no. This time Uki was present to sit on us and keep us from breathing, and we woke up to Yui still alive like it was a nightmare. Then we had cute hijinks at the newspaper club where all the girls laughed at our expense, but it was worth it to get Uki to laugh. Now Nono has adopted Uki. Yeah, we're gonna go on a little date with Nono and Uki and get her some stuff, so let's get into it. Alright, butterfly. Here we go.
Wow.
After spending so much time in that basement, Shibuya on a busy Sunday must have been quite a shock to her. Because Uki gasped in amazement. Her eyes were quickly moving from one thing to another, as if everything was new and exciting.
Uki, don't get lost, okay? Okay. You too, Takare.
I'm willing to go home right now if I have to.
No, Taku, you're staying with us all day today.
You don't get to talk, Onoe. What are you even doing here?
What? That's so mean. Am I not allowed to be here? That was really hurtful. Terribly hurtful. You should apologize to Seti.
I don't mean to interrupt your lecture, but nobody asked you to come either.
What?
Arimura pouted. I didn't know where they'd found out about it, but when we got to the intersection in front of Shibuya Station, these two were waiting for us. Exactly, date crashers. It's okay, we're all besties, we're friends. They wanted to come shopping too, evidently. Anyway, Serika and Arimura had really become good friends. I guess teenage girls were good at that?
Well, why not? The more the merrier.
Kurisu laughed, but I had a terrible feeling. Listen up, Onoe, Arimura. I'm here to carry Uki's things, not yours. No matter what stupid things you buy, I'm not holding them. Yeah, Serika knows because she's Serika, and she brought Hinaya. That's just how things work. Seri knows things, so,
I'm not buying anything stupid. I think I just realized why Miyashiro is a virgin who's never gotten laid.
Hey, Arimura, you go home now.
Virgin?
Uki, don't worry about it.
Come on, don't teach Uki weird words. Let's not waste any more time.
Kurisu grabbed Uki's hand in a very natural way and started to walk ahead.
Oh.
Down in that basement, she'd probably offered her hand to a lot of people, but no one had ever offered a hand to her. Uki was staring at Kurisu's hand in shock. But instead of shaking it off, she matched Kurisu's pace and followed along. Yeah, virgin's gonna virgin! Get out. I went behind her. And behind me were Serika and Arimura, chatting happily. 2 hours later...
Hey, Miyashiro, what do you think about this outfit? Oh, it's wonderful. Such a pretty color. I want that. What do you think, Uki?
Oops.
It's good, I think. I see. Uki doesn't like this stuff, guys. That's not true. You can't lie to me, okay? Oh.
The four of them were talking in front of the store. I sat down on a nearby bench, feeling a little exhausted. This was the 7th place we'd been to, and we still hadn't bought anything. We'd gone from one shop to another, down a street filled with huge crowds. My head was starting to spin.
Hey, Taka, Which skirt do you like better, this one or this one?
Oh, the one on the right.
Yeah? But I don't know if I'd look good in all this lace.
Wait, was that for you? Go find clothes for Uki!
Aw, you don't have to get so mad.
Yeah, the Croc store.
I'm sorry, Takare.
Uki came out of the store just in time to see me get mad.
Let's go home. I don't need fancy clothes after all.
What? I quickly stood up. No, that's not what I meant.
But
we're here to buy stuff for you today. The conversation cut off. She shrank back and looked at the ground. She was staring at her feet, a look of despair in her eyes. I realized my mistake and scratched my head. Well...
Yeah?
I'm probably not one to talk, but...
Yeah?
I think you're taking things a little too seriously. Like Kurisa said, you're part of the family now. Feel free to be at least 1/10 as selfish as Onoe is.
Are you talking about me? I can hear you!
I ignored Serika and looked back at Uki. The irony in that statement, too, considering the fact that Serika's entire existence revolves around Takaru, but that's okay. Uki had just lifted her own head, so our eyes met for a moment. We quickly looked away from each other. So, don't worry about me. She seemed to think for a minute, but after a while, her pale crimson lips began to softly move.
All right. Thank you. I'm sorry. Come on, you two. Let's go to the next place.
Kurisu came over and grinned at me. What?
It wouldn't kill you to be nice to me, too, once in a while, you know?
What are you talking about?
Hey, how about Parku next, guys? There's other things I want to get besides clothes.
Kurisu chuckled, then took Uki's hand and walked off in the direction of Parku. There we go. This is our chance to score brownie points by showing off that we're father material. Wow, it's so cute.
Yeah, this is great. This is exactly what we're looking for, right?
We wandered around Parku for a while. Parku was a shop that sold natural fashion style clothes. After having Uki try on several different outfits, they finally found one they liked. Aw, she's so cute! Even I almost gasped when I saw her appear from inside the changing room. Uki fidgeted awkwardly as everyone complimented her. I wasn't used to getting compliments either, so I knew how she felt. But even as I said, yeah, you look like a totally different person. The outfit looked that good on her.
Thank you. I'll take this one then. Why not have them take the tag off and wear it now? Oh, okay.
They do kind of look like they're too big on her, but it might be the style.
Takaru, we had them put Uki's uniform in a bag. Carry it, okay?
Sure. I hung the shopping bag off my shoulder. Uki quickly tried to grab it off.
No, I can't have you do that. I'll carry it. Let him. That's why he's here today.
You heard the lady. It's better to just do what the Empress tells you. And remember what I said? Don't worry about stuff too much.
Look, Uki, they have these cute accessories over here. Want to check them out?
See? She's calling you. Go talk to her. I gave Uki a little push on the back.
Okay, just for a little. Thank you.
Uki went over to the rest of the girls, but not before turning back to look at me several times. They all lined up and started to examine the jewelry. I couldn't help but smile a little as I watched them.
Thanks, Takaru. This is a big help.
Well, you know, you helped me out a lot too, right? During my physical therapy and when I made the newspaper club.
Oh? Are you feeling like you owe me?
Of course I do. Yeah, the design of the outfit makes her look so young she practically looks like a child. That's because she is one. Yeah, because her body is, like, canonically in, like, 5th grade or something like that. So, she's baby. Maybe not mentally, but she's still baby.
Then you'd better start paying me back.
Paying you back. How? Kurisu's mischievous smile seemed a little scary.
Come on, Uki. You need to get some cute undies, too. No, I'm fine with the normal ones. That's no fun. There was a lingerie place over there, wasn't there? Okay, we'll pick out some stuff for you. Huh? What? Huh? Taka, Nong, let's go. Right. Come on, Takare.
Wait, no way! I cannot go inside an underwear store. I tried to resist as Kurisu dragged me by the arm.
That's not true. A lot of boys go out to pick something out with their girlfriend.
What? They do?
Takare, I hope you get a lover like that soon, you know?
Arimura and Serika stopped to look at me and said,
No, not happening for a while. You've got that right.
Listen, you guys... The two of them started to cackle. It was the truth, so I couldn't say anything back. Uki, however, just stared, blinking and bewildered.
A lover?
I heard her whisper the words mysteriously. I am really hoping we're not going in the direction it seems like we're going, because I don't want to go that direction.
So, you think this is enough?
Yeah, I guess I'll just treat this as an outing with my girlfriend.
Which one?
Yeah. Kurisu ended up buying all kinds of things for Uki, from clothes to toiletries, even decorations for her room. So my arms were full of bags and my joints were starting to ache. Kurisu, Serika, and Arimura all had their hands full too, but as befitted as an empress, Kurisu didn't seem to be bothered at all. And half of the bags that Serika and Arimura were carrying were things they'd bought for themselves, so instead of complaining, they were chattering happily. Since no one else was complaining, that meant I couldn't either. I'd look like a loser.
Hey, Uki, is there anything else you want? No, I'm fine.
I mean, to be fair, like, if she's 5th grade, or, like, around 5th grade, you know, that's about when you start buying, like, bras, and buying bras in, like, department stores, not nearly as good as, like, lingerie stores, so it does make a little bit of sense, but also, yeah, she's a little young for, quote-unquote lingerie.
Really? Let's go home then.
We all began to head for Alba Dorm as twilight approached. Uki was walking a half step behind as everyone else walked in front.
Now it'll look much more like a girl's room.
I hope so. Kurisu laughed a little. I looked at her, confused.
I remember when you woke up from your coma.
Uh-huh.
It would have been 5 years ago now, huh? We went to buy things for you like this then, too.
Did we?
Yep, Nan and I went shopping for you. You should be grateful.
I had no idea. I remembered being surprised at how much stuff was ready for me. I see. Thanks, you two.
Hey, do you remember, Serika? The first and last time we got into a fight. Oh, yeah.
Huh?
We got in a big argument in the middle of the store about whether to buy you boxers or briefs.
Okay, well, okay. Don't argue about that. I glared at them and my face turned red, except for the fact that you know that Serika would be right.
By the way, Nan said boxers and I said black briefs.
Why black?
In the end, we played rock, paper, scissors and I lost. It was so disappointing.
What's disappointing is your taste in underwear.
Huh? You're definitely not a boxers type of guy. Don't you think so, Hina?
Yeah, we clashed these swords and fought to the death.
No, and honestly, no matter what Miyashiro wears, I can't ever see him getting to show them to a girl, so how much does it matter? Oh, that's true.
I hated to admit it, but it was the truth, so I couldn't say anything back. Okay, it might be the truth, but also having cute underwear it just makes you feel better. It doesn't matter if you have anyone to show them to. Like, get the underwear you like. Make yourself feel cool. As my shoulders shook with rage, and it was definitely rage, not exhaustion from the heavy bags, I saw Kurisu suddenly turn around. Yeah, roasted.
Where's Uki?
Huh? I'd been so focused on the conversation that I hadn't noticed. But when I turned around, she was gone. I looked around to see where she'd gone. Oh, I found her. I could see the top of her tiny head on the other side of the crowd. She'd stopped in front of a store and was looking through the window pane. Uki? I went back to see what it was she was looking at. It was a fairly large florist's shop. Uki was staring in amazement at all the plants lined up in the window. We'd been to a lot of different places today, but this was the first one I'd seen her so interested in. Some of the plants were as tall as I was, with leaves growing out of a strong, thick trunk, and some of them were tiny, pretty flowers whose vases would fit in your hands. It felt like you could stare at all the different kinds for hours. I could hear her tiny voice saying,
Wow.
as she looked at them. You like this stuff?
Huh?
She must not have realized I was there because she looked up at me in shock. And then she realized that she'd been pressing her face up to a store window and blushed.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean... There's nothing to apologize for. It's fun to look at these, isn't it? I like bamboo palms.
I'm a fan of patira plants myself. The girls were smiling as they looked at the plants in the windowsill too. There we go. And here we have the pride of the store, Audrey II.
Oh, I know. Why don't we put something in Nuki's room? Huh? We can't take anything too big home with us, and we wouldn't be able to care for it anyway. But maybe we could get something small? I couldn't. I've never taken care of a plant.
Girl, you took care of actual human beings. I think you can figure out how to take care of a plant. You haven't? I was kind of surprised. She'd been so dedicated to taking care of the patients at that hospital that I was sure she'd have taken good care of the plants there too.
There was no sunlight in the basement where I lived. They all wilted.
Oh. Yeah, you're right. Uki had lived in a dark basement with no sunlight at all. She'd lived there for years, and then finally she'd been abandoned. I suddenly remembered the despair in her eyes when she'd seen the empty basement. She must have remembered it too, because she suddenly cast her gaze downwards. Kurisu forced herself to speak in a chipper voice.
Don't worry about that. Your room gets a lot of sunlight. It was honestly a waste to use it as a closet.
Go find one you like, Uki. I've still got room to carry a small vase.
If you don't think you can raise it on your own, why don't we do it together? Together? That's right. We're family now, right?
So hurry up before I change my mind.
Okay.
Uki went inside the flower shop, still hesitant but smiling. As soon as we got back to Alba Dorm, the girls all went to decorate Uki's room. I, of course, stayed behind. After about an hour and a half of waiting...
Brother Takada, it's all set. You can come in now.
Yui finally came to tell me it was all right, so I went to see Uki's room. Let's take a look.
You're gonna be surprised, Taka.
You sure will. Huh? Is it really that? Aw, that's sweet. That's so cute. Wow. It really was that surprising. I was amazed at what I saw. Was this the same empty room I'd seen just a little while ago? There were pretty curtains on the windowsill. A fluffy, girly comforter sat on the bed. A soft carpet had been laid on the cold floor, and the small shelving unit even had some stuffed animals, probably courtesy of Kurisu or Seriko. Beautiful photos and attractive frames now hung on the empty white walls, which had looked like something from a hospital room. The light bulbs had even been replaced with ones that cast a warmer shade of light. The desk, chair, and shelves, which had only been used for work, had now been done up to something much more appropriate for a little girl's room. On top of the shelves was a plant Uki had picked out, a schefflera. Its leaves were bright and green. A schefflera is also known as a dwarf umbrella tree, an evergreen decorative plant with many palm-shaped leaves at the end of its branches. It's hardy and able to avoid leaf scald even in direct sunlight, and cold-resistant to boot, which makes it a relatively easy plant to raise. This is incredible.
I know, right?
As I looked around the room in amazement, I saw a tiny girl looking sad in a corner of the room. It was Uki, the room's owner. Hmm? What's wrong, Uki?
I've never had a wonderful room like this. I don't know what I'm supposed to do.
I couldn't help but laugh as I saw her clasp her hands in front of her chest and fidget. It's your own room, so do whatever you want. Sit on the bed or something. I patted the cute comforter on the bed. Ah, you're inviting her to bed? Mishiro, you're such a perv. I wanted the walls painted black. I am not. Is that all you ever talk about?
Aw, don't get so mad. It was only a joke.
Coming from you, it doesn't sound like a joke. I glared at Animura, but she just stuck her tongue out and laughed. Sirika, Kurisu, and Yui all started laughing too. Uki, however, just looked around at everyone, as if she didn't know what we were talking about. Me, Serika, Kurisu, Ito, Arimura, Kazuki, and now Uki, the newest member of the Heikyo newspaper club, was here as well. We all looked a little tired. Our meeting to decide what we'd put in the next issue hadn't been going well at all. Okay, I think it's time to call it a day. I'm the club president, and I'm making my decision.
Just decide on doing the behind the scenes report on the festival. It's easy.
No, that's too obvious.
Give it up, man. You're not still thinking about doing the return of the New Generation Madness anymore, are you? No one cares now.
Kurisu's face contorted with sadness for an instant when she heard the name Return of the New Generation Madness. She was probably thinking about Senni Minamisawa, the killer who'd committed suicide. No, it doesn't have to be the New Generation stuff. It can be something else, like... Since Kurisu was here, I didn't want to go into it any further, but it still seems strange to me. Just make up fake gossip again. No one cared about the New Generation Madness anymore? That case had altered every aspect of our lives and attracted the attention of the entire nation, and now everyone had just forgotten about it?
Personally, I think it's just so over. It's the epitome of over.
When I saw how casual Arimura was acting, I only became more suspicious. It didn't make sense. What was the reason for this difference between me and everyone else?
How about we make this fair, everyone? We can put it to majority vote.
Kurisu seemed eager to smooth things over. I guess that's okay. What about you, Miyashiro? Fine by me, if that's what you want. I would have to give up on persuading Ito and Arimura, two people who were easily influenced by trends. But I was sure the others would understand.
That settles it then. As vice president, I'll count the votes. First, everyone in favor of doing the Restoration Festival, raise your hand.
I heard everyone gulp a little, and then the veil of silence dropped. Yeah, murder is so out of style these days. Ito and Arimura raised their hands immediately. A moment later, Kazuki slowly raised her own.
All right, so 3 votes. Next question. Who wants to go a little deeper into the Return of the New Generation Madness case? Please raise your hands.
I raised my own hand immediately. What about Serika and Kurisu? If they didn't go for Ito and Arimura's proposal, then that meant Serika and Kurisu would agree with me. Wait. But only Serika raised her hand. Kurisu didn't. Wait a second. Kurisu, why aren't you voting? If you're not voting for Ito, that means you should be on my side, right?
I don't know why, but I'm not really feeling excited about either of your ideas.
Can I just abstain this time? Abstain? You can't do that.
I can't? Then I guess I'll pick the festival.
So, Kurisu's abstaining, huh? Fine by me.
Wait, she was about to vote for doing the festival.
No, we should respect her wishes and allow her to abstain.
Ah.
I deliberately ignored Arimura's cold glance. Anyway, if Kurisu or Kazuki voted with me, I could have made it a tie. At this rate, things weren't looking good.
All right, looks like we have our result then.
Oh? Everyone in the room looked towards a single spot. Next to me, fidgeting awkwardly but still raising her hand, was Uki?
Let me double check. Uki, you're raising your hand because... yes, I agree with Takara.
Yeah, I'm doing a write-in vote for Harambe. My eyes met with Uki's. Her little eyes seemed to be sending me a message that only I could see. Oh,
Wow, I saw it! The two of them were staring into each other's eyes.
wait, Miyashiro, when did you seduce Uki? Oh my god, how many times are we going to make this joke?
Oh no, he's a lolicon, a criminal! Call the cops.
The whole room started to buzz like someone had poked a beehive. Jeez, you should see the look on your face. Kurisu laughed and gently put her hand on my shoulder.
Kids can tell whether someone's good or bad. You can be proud that Uki's given you her okay.
Uki was glancing up at me from time to time, her cheeks still blushing pale red. Did that mean she'd taken a liking to me? Of course, that wasn't a bad thing. But none of this all seemed quite real, especially the way everyone was willing to just give up on the New Generation Madness case. Yeah, that's fair. This is payback for imagining Hinai as Fujoshi. It's fine. Hey everyone. Glad you're all here. Luckily smiled as he opened the door and came inside. I don't trust you. Please get away from my child.
Huh? You don't come here often, sir.
Oh, actually, I have some good news for you all. I wanted to tell you as soon as possible. Good news? Well, more specifically, good news for Miyashiro. For me? My heart started pounding a little faster when he said my name. You know, you had that discussion you guys were going to do at the Culture Festival, right? He was probably trying to be as vague as possible because of what had happened with Watabe. When he saw the tension on everyone's face, he quickly continued. The director of that Nikonia video program contacted us. A director from Nikonia? That's right. Actually, they want you to take Watabe's place on the news program that he did. What? Me? On a Nikonia news show? Well, even after what happened, Watabe was a very talented reporter, and he seemed to have taken a liking to you, so the director seems to have taken an interest himself. And so he wants you on as a commentator, speaking from the perspective of a high school reporter. Watabe's news program. That was Nikonia News, right? The most popular source of information around? And they wanted me as a commentator? Could that really be real? How about it, Miyashiro? They seem pretty insistent. Uh, um... After the initial shock faded, I felt a weird kind of happiness. It felt like I was walking on top of a cloud. But could I really do such an important job? If I tripped over my tongue or panicked, I would look stupid in front of the viewers. Everybody would be laughing at me. Yeah, this certainly isn't a trap they're trying to lure you into or anything.
That's great, Taka. This is your big chance.
My big chance.
Huh?
Come on, what's wrong, Miyashiro? Nikonia News is a huge program. Why the hesitation?
That's right. This is your big chance. Everybody else in the world wants it, but you're the only one who gets this super ultra deluxe chance.
Now you can show all those wrong-siders the true power of a right-sider. Man, I'm so happy for you. Well... Still, I wasn't sure what to do. Of course, the offer was an enticing one. If it was for the whole of the Hekio newspaper club, I would have accepted without a second thought. We all did the investigations together, so it wasn't right for me to take all the credit. And what's more...
Come on, Takure. If you're not certain, at least try it out. Make it happen. It'll be fine. You can do it, Taka.
No, it's not that easy. Sirika said I could do it, but I wasn't sure I really could. I was a shy person to begin with, so I didn't know how I would be able to talk on camera.
It's not that big a deal. Just say what's on your mind like you always do around us.
Like I always do. And a camera's not a person. Doesn't it make you feel better if you think of it that way?
It'll be fine. If this is what you want to do, I'm sure it'll go well.
Even after all that, I still wasn't sure what I should do, until I felt a small tug at my shirt.
I think that you can do it too.
For some reason, when I saw how serious she was, even if she was a little trepidatious about speaking, I felt a lot better. What do you think, Miyashiro? I'll try it then.
Huh? Yes! Now the whole school will hear about our club, and we'll be sure to get a ton of new members.
Surika and Arimura gave each other a high five, big grins on their faces. Okay, I'll tell them. Oh, I'd almost forgot. Luckily, he clapped his hands together as if he'd just remembered something. They want you to do your first broadcast live from the Shibuya Restoration Festival. That'll be okay, right? What? A live broadcast from the Shibuya Restoration Festival? Which meant, since you're a student, it'll be hard for them to give you any money, so instead they're offering you platinum tickets for the main event. The main event for the Shibuya Restoration Festival was going to be held at the Hikario Theater Cube. Oh, because that's been a really nice place for us so far. Major celebrities were going to be there, and the tickets had sold out seconds after going on sale. Supposedly, it cost a fortune to get one from a scalper on the internet now.
Oh man, I'm so jealous. You're like a super VIP, Taka. Damn it. If I'd known, I would have volunteered instead.
As I heard them all complain, my uneasiness disappeared, and instead, I felt joy at being chosen. Miyashiro, that's okay, right? Oh, yeah. All right, I'll tell them. He smiled one last time and left the room.
That's so great, Takare.
I'm so jealous. Well, it's only natural that they'd choose me. Oh my god, Takare.
Oh, that statement's a lie. Taka, you're such a liar.
Then my eyes met with Uki's again. She'd gotten quiet while everyone else had been excited.
Oh, well, I'm glad for you, Takare.
Oh, thanks. Yeah. Her smile was a flower that wasn't quite in full bloom, and somehow seeing it made me feel really strange. Okay, I don't know that I like where we're going with this. Can we not have a weird thing with Uki, please? Even if it's not real? We stayed there and talked about Nikonia news until the sun set and the chime rang to tell us it was time to go home. After the big news, we hadn't gotten anywhere with our next project, but that was fine. We each grabbed our bags and headed for the shoeboxes. Hey, if your Nikonia news thing goes well, we'll get some new members, right? Then we can get a bigger budget. It'll be great.
That would make me really happy. The club's going to be a very different place once you guys graduate.
We still didn't know what was going to happen, but they were already getting excited. I ignored them and went to take my shoes out of their box. Huh? What was this? On top of my shoes, I could feel something thin like paper. I took it out, wondering what it might be. Is this? It was definitely one of those things you put letters in. An envelope. Yeah, that's right. And what's more, it was a very cute envelope, which smelled kind of good. In large letters in the center, it said, to Miyashiro. I turned it around and there was a heart-shaped sticker sealing it shut. Oh my god. Our first love letter. My mind had frozen up for a second, but now it started to race. Could this be... No, wait, don't be hasty, Takeru Miyashiro. You don't know it for a fact yet. I love how the tense music is playing. I flipped it around and looked at the other side again. There was a name on the envelope. Yume Aozaki. Aozaki? Who's that? I tried to remember, but nothing came to me. Yume, huh?
Taka, what's wrong?
Huh? It's nothing.
Oh, did you just hide something behind your back?
I did not. I did not.
Oh, that was a lie. Which means... Hana!
Ah! Kazuki had snuck behind me at some point. She quickly grabbed the letter out of my hands. Hey, is this a love letter? Everyone started to shout as they peered at the letter in Kazuki's hands.
No way! For Taka?
Seriously? Who sent it?
Yume Ozaki. That's how you read this, right? Wait a second. Aozaki, the second year? What?
Ito and Arimura gasped in surprise at almost the exact same time. You know her, Ito?
Do I know her?
Do you not know her? She's the prettiest girl to attend our school in a decade. I had no idea. What kind of, this has got to be our dream world. I don't see this any other way.
I know her too. They say she's so pretty, it's like she stepped out of the pages of a shoujo manga. They say she's not just the prettiest girl in her grade, she's the prettiest girl in the school.
Yeah, whose taste could possibly be that bad?
Wow, a girl like that sending Taku a love letter?
No, Kazuki, there's no need to punch the shoeboxes and find out if they hurt.
You're kidding me. Her? Awazaki? That unbelievably special, beautiful girl wrote Taku a love letter? You're kidding me. It's gotta be some mistake.
Or maybe she's just screwing with you. Ito was stomping his feet and throwing a tantrum. He looked like he might be about to weep tears of blood. Was this Yume Aozaki really that pretty? No, calm down, everyone. Ito's right. It could be a prank. I tried to play it cool and speak in a calm, level voice. I failed. Even I could tell my voice was shaking. The most beautiful girl in the school had sent me a love letter. Was this the beginning of a wonderful romance? Was I about to say goodbye to my days of being single and enter the world of the normals? No, of course, I was already normal, but I meant in the other sense of the word.
Don't do that, Takure.
Kurisu suddenly turned to me with a serious look on her face. Don't do what?
Don't just decide that it's a prank. It's rude. You have to read it and then give them your answer.
Yeah, I know that. From the look in her eyes, I could tell that she sensed my excitement. Well, there was no sense in trying to fool Kurisu anyway.
Come on, Miyashiro, read it.
Read it now. Read it now. Read it quick. Read what it says so we all can hear it. Ito looked like he was about to pounce on me. Calm down, Ito.
How can I stay calm at a time like this?
Ito. All it took was one word for him to quiet down.
It's not nice to read it in front of everyone. Good manners dictate that it be read alone by the person who received it.
That's right. So...
Aw, Miyashiro, you're such a dork.
I tried my best to remain calm as the others complained, and then slid the letter into my bag. Of course, I was actually trying my best to suppress the desire to read it right now. Still, first a Nikoniya offer, and then a letter from a girl. What was happening to my life? Suddenly, I felt a weird sensation run down my spine. Someone was staring at me. I turned around. Huh? And then I saw something huge, something that most certainly didn't belong here. It was like some kind of twisted piece of art. A D-sword. Uki was standing behind the rest of the group, staring at me intently with a stern expression on her face. In her hand was a shining, beautiful blade, the D-sword. My mind went blank for a second. Uki, what are you... Huh? What was that? I know I just saw a D-sword. Huh? I tried blinking a few times, but Uki wasn't holding any kind of sword at all.
Is something wrong?
Oh, no. What was that? Maybe a hallucination caused by the setting sun?
Hey, Miyashiro, just a little. Just read a little.
Enough, Ito. Oh. The tiny little doubt I had eventually disappeared as I listened to the others' chatter. When the door closed, my cool, casual demeanor broke into a giant grin. I was going to be a guest commentator on Nikonia News. And on top of that, I'd gotten a love letter from Yume Aozaki, the most beautiful girl in the school that I didn't realize existed until 5 minutes ago. On the way back home, I'd had to stop myself from skipping around Shibuya. No, wait a second. Takure Miyashiro. I said the words aloud to try to get myself under control. Some things were too good to be true. Maybe Ito was right, and it was just a prank. The first rule of entertainment was to make it seem like things were going well right before everything goes to hell. Not that my life was mere entertainment, of course. Anyway, if it was a prank, why would anyone bother? Was the goal to laugh and make fun of me? Who'd want to do that? Yeah, are we sure Yume isn't just another girl we thought into existence like Serika? Okay, so we are actually going to save really quick. All right, because this choice may matter. Where's my guide? Okay, so we are on bad end 2. Okay, so not this one. We are not going to do a delusion for this one because I believe we're going to see all the delusions in the later routes, or the later bad ends. Or maybe people could sense the light of my inner genius, no matter how hard I tried to hide it. But normally, I didn't stand out at all. Everyone seemed to get the wrong idea, but I always tried to keep myself out of the limelight. And yet, Yume Aozaki found me anyway, which meant that she was special. The chosen right-sider and the chosen beauty, drawn together by a special destiny. Was this fate after all? No. Calm down, Takuru Miyashiro. Maybe someone was planning to get my hopes up as much as possible before humiliating me on video and uploading it to social media. There were other possibilities, too. This could also be someone's way of getting me to sign up for expensive English language instructional materials or join some weird cult, which is strangely easy to do in Japan, in case anyone was wondering. Oh, we are absolutely letting this get to our head. I carefully cut open the top of the letter and took a deep breath. I've always been watching you. I love you, Miyashiro. Would you please be my boyfriend? But when I looked at the bottom of the letter, I froze. There was an 11-digit number, and next to it, I'll be waiting for your answer. A message. A phone call, huh? A phone call was a very dark and scary thing for me. But she'd told me her feelings and was waiting for my answer. As a gentleman, I had to respond. And there was still a chance it was a prank Ito and Serika were playing on me. That's a good question. What if this is Senni? I needed to make the call just to be sure. I carefully entered the number on the paper into the phone and tapped the call icon with shaking hands. It's Pizza Hut. It's fine. I waited a while, but there was no sign that she'd pick up. Just as I went to hang up, it connected. Hello? Huh? The call went through, right? Hello? Hello?
Is this Miyashiro?
So this was Yume Aozaki's voice. It's so cute.
This is Miyashiro, right?
Oh, yeah. That's right. It took everything I had to keep my voice from shaking.
Thank you for your phone call. It makes me very happy.
Oh, no, thank you. I mean, I'm not sure what to say. Geez, what am I doing? The sweet voice from the phone was making me its prisoner. I mean, the fact that her name literally means dream, like...
Okay. I'll be waiting. I'll be looking forward to it then.
Oh, yeah.
Miyashiro?
What?
I think I'm too happy to sleep tonight. You hang up first, okay?
No, you first.
Then let's both hang up on the count of 3. Oh, no, I'll hang up instead.
Huh? Okay.
All right, Miyashiro. Good night. Kiss.
Ah. I took a deep breath and let out all the air in my lungs. I'd been in such a panic that I didn't even remember what I'd talked about. No, don't worry, bud. You didn't talk about anything. The only thing I could barely recall was that we'd agreed to go on a date after school tomorrow. She'd told me that it would be embarrassing to let the girls in her class see her, so she wanted to meet me at someplace a little further away from the school. So we both agreed to meet at Cafe Lax, I think. Hmm. Wait a second. My brain had started to work again, and I realized the mistake I'd made. If we went to Lax, someone from the newspaper club might see us. Not to copy what Aozaki said, but I'd be embarrassed to let them see me too. Maybe I should change the meeting location. I took out and tapped the number I'd just called. But the person you are trying to reach is unavailable or has turned off their phone. The call cannot be completed. Instead of her beautiful voice, I was met with the cold voice of a recording. That's strange. Maybe she was taking a bath. Or she'd run out of battery? We'd been talking a long time, so it was certainly possible. I tried again, but the person you are trying to reach is unavailable or has turned off their phone. The call cannot be completed. It was the recording again. What was going on? But if she wasn't picking up, there wasn't anything I could do. She'd be able to see that I called, so she'd call me back when she looked at her phone. And come to think of it, we could go someplace else after meeting at Cafe Lax. Even if we did run into someone, we could probably talk our way out of it. Probably. And so. Huh? Suddenly, there was a knock at the door, and I almost leapt out of my chair. At this hour? For a moment, I thought back to the return of the new generation madness, and I felt a cold sweat start to form under my armpits. I looked outside, afraid. Huh? Outside the door was a girl I knew well. Uki? What was she doing here? Whatever she was here for, I couldn't leave her out there.
Oh.
Uki looked relieved when she saw me. What's up? Why are you here at this hour?
Oh, I'm sorry for coming over so suddenly. This is for you.
She handed me a plastic container wrapped in a tiny sack.
This is some dinner for you. If you'd like, you can have it.
Leftovers?
Yes, Dr. Sakumet told me you needed to eat some real food, so I.
You made this?
Yes, so I don't know if it's good, but.
I took the sack. The container was still warm. It must have been made just a little while ago.
I'll be going then.
Oh, look at her little backpack. It's a little ghetto froggy. It's so cute. Uki bowed her head and turned to go. I tried to say thank you, but the words got stuck in my throat.
Oh,
She suddenly turned back to face me.
Takare? I'm taking good care of the plant you gave me every day. If you'd like, please come to my room and see it.
She smiled and fidgeted as she looked up at me. Oh. And then she ran off into the darkness before I could say anything. The meal she'd made for me had a very kind, gentle taste. I was so sleepy. Last night I'd been too excited to sleep properly. I'd gone through all the back issues of Cool Cat Press I could find, trying to learn all their best dating tips, and the next thing I knew, it was light outside. As a result, my mind had been dulled from exhaustion all morning, and my usual stylish and cool mannerisms were missing a little of their sharpness.
Oh, there you are. Morning, Taku. Good morning. You look tired. Let me guess, you were up all night? I'm so jealous. I bet you couldn't sleep after what happened.
As I sat down in my seat, I was surrounded by familiar faces. Hey, guys. I took out the contents of my bag and put them on my desk, trying as hard as I could to act natural.
What's with that smug look? That's right. We're all being nice enough to come visit you.
Why did you come to my classroom anyway?
You know why? We want to know what happened.
She was definitely talking about what happened with Yume Aosaki's letter. I couldn't stop thinking about her myself. A date. A date. After school. A date with the most beautiful girl in school. There was no way I'd be able to think about anything else. My mind was already spinning like a merry-go-round with happy fantasies. No. If I started getting excited and freaking out over a single date, I'd be no different than those wannabe normal wrong-siders. But...
Come on, Taku, tell us.
Sarika smacked her hands down on my desk and leaned forward. Tell you what?
About the letter you got yesterday.
It's got nothing to do with you.
I see.
You see what?
Let me guess. I was right, and it was just a prank. Was it? I knew it! I thought the same thing. I mean, of course it was a prank. It's me and Shiro we're talking about. The odds of him being able to class change into a normal are 0.
Bite me, Ito. Well, if that's what he wanted to think, then fine. The reality was the exact opposite.
Come on, everyone. It's not polite to keep asking questions like that. It's Takeru's private life, after all. Huh? Aren't you interested, Non? I'm not. But you've been standing here with us the whole time. That's because... Right, I needed to tell him to make sure he gave a polite response to the letter he'd been given.
Oh, really?
So... Well, if he's willing to tell us, you know...
I know what? You want to find out as badly as everybody else, don't you?
So?
So what?
Come on, stop wasting time and come out with it. The letter, how'd it go? Was it real or a prank?
It was...
It was?
Anyway, enough about that. We need to talk about our next issue since we didn't get to discuss it yesterday.
What?
Everyone sounded upset. Even Kurisu joined in.
You're such a jerk. Come on, it's not like it'll hurt you. Yeah, that's right.
I don't care what you say. The answer is no. We'll talk more about our plans for the next project at lunch, okay? It was clear that nothing good would come from talking to them about it. I tried to force the conversation to change direction, but...
Huh? Why lunch? We usually meet after school, right? Oh, I just saw him freeze up a little. Which means he's got after school plans.
No, that's...
You do, right?
You do.
You do indeed.
I mean, it is private stuff, but also, like, I'd rather we get recommendations from the normal-ish people in our life. I love how I can't say normal because one of them is a serial killer that we created, and the others are just fucking weird. But instead, we read a magazine that is absolutely not correct. So, we're looking for information in all the wrong places. Everyone found out immediately. Would I be able to complete my mission after school? No, I had to. For the sake of my bright, shining future.
Okay, see you after school. Ito, keep an eye on him, alright?
I know, Serika could literally just tell them all. Because, you know, she can read our mind, but... Sure, leave it to me.
Oh, sure, leave it to me. I can't wait till after school.
So, when you put this all together, you see, I kept thinking about what would happen after school, even during Makui's lecture. Yume Aozaki, a girl who everyone claimed was not only the prettiest girl in her grade, but the most beautiful in this school. I thought about going to see what she was like for this morning, but eventually decided not to. If she saw me, she'd think I'd come to check her out.
So you're the type of person who judges someone by their appearance, huh? I'm disappointed.
If that happened, everything would be ruined. I wonder what she's like. Her voice was cute. I knew that for a fact. If you could tell whether someone was pretty from their voice, I could say without a doubt that she must be gorgeous. The question was what she was like on the inside. Even if she was cute, I didn't want to date a girl who was a shallow slut. Hey, in this house, we do not slut shame. The whole only if they're hot thing was for shallow people with shallow minds. A common, unspoken addendum to many things girls say about guys who they like. For example, I like a man who's funny, only if they're hot. I like a man who can cook, only if they're hot. A true right-sider like me wouldn't be deceived by appearances. But they say you can't judge a book by its cover, but it's also true that what's on the outside of a person reflects on who they are inside. Exactly, no slut shaming, only slut celebrating here. Like, Taku, fucking virgin, man. Like, this kid borders on incel, and just have to keep going with him. Which meant that on the inside, she had to be. Alright, who can read this next part? Miyashiro? Miyashiro? Hey, Miyashiro, he's calling on you. Miyashiro? Huh? I suddenly realized the whole class was looking at me. Miyashiro? Were you not listening? Oh, no. Yeah, I forgot that there was a reason we called him Zuckerberg-kun at the beginning. Sadly enough, Serika being a serial killer made him a better person, and that's probably not a great thing to brag about. I stood up and then froze. Where was I supposed to be reading from exactly? Page 122, line 4, Miyashiro. Ito, I owe you one. This is the dream I had. I was sitting, arms crossed, at the head of a bed. A woman was lying there, face up, and in a small voice she told me she was going to die. Her long hair draped across the pillow, framing a face that was soft and round. There was just a hint of red blood beneath the pale skin of her cheeks, and her lips, of course, were red as well. But then she said, in a soft but clear voice, "In my dream, I become a butterfly. A butterfly floating here and there." As I read the passage, I started to get confused. I had to read Soseki's 10 Nights of Dreams in class before, and I didn't remember this part. I mean, yes, finding the person you're in a relationship with physically attractive is reasonable. Nothing against that. I'm having a problem reconciling the whole, like, we're going on a date and literally we don't even know who this girl is. Like, what is the point of going on a date then? And I thought that, yes, she was going to die. So I leaned over her and asked, "Are you a human dreaming you're a butterfly? Or are you a butterfly dreaming you're a human?" "Both the human and the butterfly are indeed going to die," the woman said. Then she opened her eyes and said that you're dreaming too. If you don't get out soon, you won't be able to get out at all, Taku. What? Hey, Miyashiro, what the hell are you reading? No, Yeah. And then Soseki went on this weird alliterative tangent about the Reaper the Bailey and the detective with sexy forearms. Dude, I miss our sexy forearm detective. That is peak character design. But, my classmates must have found my reaction funny because they all started to laugh. Come on, I know you've had some good luck lately, but get a hold of yourself, man. I just stood there in shock as the rest of the class laughed at me. I looked back at the textbook, and there was nothing like that written there. Of course, the text certainly didn't have my name in it. What the hell was that? Was that just a delusion? Come to think of it, something weird had happened last night, too. Was Ethel right? Was I just feeling overwhelmed because I'd been chosen as a news commentator and received a love letter? Or was I still tired after all the stuff that had happened with the case? The harder I tried to think about it, the harder it got to think at all. Sheesh, looks like you're still tired. Why not go wash your face? I'm sorry, sir. I could feel the rest of the class staring at me as I weaved my way through the desks and out to the hallway. I should probably just do what he suggested and go wash my face. Maybe that would make my head feel clearer. My footsteps echoed down the empty hallway as I headed for the washroom. Huh? I saw it again. There was no way I could mistake it for anything else. It was a D sword, and the person holding it was Uki? But why? Before I could say anything, she turned around. Wait! And ran away on tiny feet. I ran after her. I was sure she went this way. Oh. I found Uki and quickly ran over to her. Uki!
Oh, Takara.
Uki looked up at me confused. Her bangs were a little wet, and she'd been wiping them with a handkerchief. She wasn't holding a D sword. She was just holding a girly handkerchief. Um, what are you doing?
I fell asleep during class, and the teacher told me to go wash my face.
Fell asleep.
Yeah, I've been helping at the dorm all day lately, and I guess I'm getting a little tired.
Her little body seemed to get even smaller as she apologized. Looking at her, it was impossible to believe she was planning to do something evil with a D sword. I I see.
I'm ashamed to say it, but,
Her cheeks went red with shame and she turned her head downwards.
I'll be getting back to class then.
Yeah. Uki bowed her head and then disappeared down the hall. There it was again. I was seeing things again. What was happening to me? Lunchtime came and I went to the club room like I'd originally planned. I was still thinking about the creepy thing I'd seen. Hello, everyone. It's the moment you've all been looking forward to. It's time for the Hecky Ho Lunchbox. We're here to brighten up your lunch hour, so let's get right to it. The Broadcasting Club were playing their daily lunch broadcast. How many people actually looked forward to this? Now, today is November 5th. That's the day they found King Tut's tomb. It's also National Apple Appreciation Day. Yum yum. Still, it's been getting really cold lately. I'd rather have a yummy orange while sitting under a heated blanket. Heated blankets are amazing, aren't they? Even the scariest person in the world couldn't help but fall asleep under one. Doesn't it make you feel good sleeping under a heated blanket? Once I fall asleep, I don't get up. I tell myself, you have to wake up. 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 Huh? You have to wake up, Taka. Huh? What was that? Was someone calling my name? You can't stay there. You have to wake up or you won't be able to come back. I won't be able to come back? What does that mean? Wait, what do you mean? All right, let's play a song request. We'll begin with Phantasm and their hit song. The lunchtime broadcast was back to normal. All the other students were acting like nothing was out of the ordinary. They were discussing what anime was good this season or where they were going after school. It was like that broadcast had never happened. This is really weird, right? I think that's my guess is that this whole thing is just a dying dream. Cuz like everything is going too right. And maybe like this has something to do with Yui's power, not Yui's power. Or I guess maybe Yui's power, but I think she's dead. Uki's power. I don't know. At this point, even I had to admit that something wasn't right. Was I going crazy?
Takara, what's wrong?
I heard a voice and turned around. Huh? And I gasped again. Uki was standing there holding a shining blade.
What's wrong?
Huh? Huh? I adjusted my glasses and took another look.
Hmm?
Uki was in front of me, but she wasn't holding a D sword. Her oval eyes went wide with surprise.
Have I done something wrong?
No, it's nothing.
Huh? I see.
I tried to act calm, but Uki didn't seem satisfied. You're going to the club room too, right?
Yes.
Want to go with me?
Yeah.
I walked ahead so that she couldn't tell how worried I was getting on the inside. I could feel her following me from behind.
Oh, there they are. Ciao.
Everyone was already in the room.
I'll make some tea.
I watched Uki start to make the tea like always and sat down in my chair.
Huh?
What's up? Why the big sigh? Don't tell me she dumped you already. No, that's not it. I let my head droop down as I tried to think. What was happening to me didn't seem to make sense. Was it only happening to me? Either way, I didn't think I'd be able to solve this problem on my own. Which meant. Listen, I want to ask you guys something.
Hmm? What's up?
Actually. And then I told them all about everything that had happened since last night. I didn't mention Uki's name since she was right there.
Wow, that doesn't sound good, does it?
Maybe we should have a specialist take a look at you.
Hmm.
Everyone started to give their own opinions.
I don't think you should worry too much. It may just be stress. That's right. You're just excited because you got a love letter.
Am I, you think? Maybe I was overthinking things. To be honest, I didn't want to think too hard about it. Maybe I just wanted to hear that everything was okay. I did feel a little better getting it off my chest.
Taka?
Oh, no, that's a big help. Thanks.
Is that all you want to say about it?
Yeah. We have to talk about our next project, too. We can't talk about my problems forever, right?
That's true, but
All right, so about that project.
so we've settled on doing a report on the Shibuya Restoration Festival, correct?
We ended up picking the obvious answer for our project. I'd been opposed to it until now, but after what was happening to me, I honestly didn't care anymore. I'd have been just as happy to do a cooking video. Even the excitement I'd been feeling for my after school date was beginning to fade. As the school day drew to a close, I kept turning my phone on and then turning it off again. Of course, I was thinking of calling Aozaki. My mood kept getting darker and darker as afternoon classes proceeded, and I didn't feel like I was up for a date anymore. Cooking brains. It wouldn't be right to spend a date feeling like this, and more than anything, it would be rude to her. Part of me wanted to do it another day, and part of me didn't want to waste this chance. I thought, and I guess I'll tell her I'm not feeling well and that we should do it another day. May as well get it over with then. I turned my phone on again before I could change my mind and then tapped in her number. She didn't answer. One more time. She still didn't answer. I kept trying, but she never picked up. Come to think of it, she would have seen that I called last night, but she hadn't called me back. If you got a call from your boyfriend, wow, we are just throwing labels around now, aren't we? If you got a call from your boyfriend, wouldn't you normally either pick up right away or call back? Oh, well. It might not be ideal, but it would be better than blowing her off. I decided to visit the second year classrooms, but I didn't know what Aozaki looked like. I only knew her name and phone number. I should have asked Ito first, maybe, but there was no helping that now. If only Adimoto were here. She'd be able to tell me what class Aozaki was in, at least. I went to Adimoto's classroom, but I couldn't find her. She may have gone home already. I guess I'd just have to.
Yes?
I worked up what little courage I had and asked one of the girls walking by, "Can I ask you something?"
What is it?
Well, do you know what class Yume Aozaki is in?
Huh?
Um, Yume Aozaki, I said.
Aozaki?
That was strange. She was the prettiest girl in school. She should have at least heard of her. Um, I asked someone else, but Aozaki, do you know her?
No, I don't think there's anybody in our grade with that name.
There wasn't? Adimura had said that she was the prettiest girl in the school, not just the second year class. Ito knew about her too, and he'd even been jealous of me. I talked to her last night on the phone. I decided to visit the first year class just to be sure. Maybe I'd heard wrong and Naozaki was a first year student, not a second year student. But there's no girl with that name here. What the hell was going on? How could there be nobody named Yume Aozaki in either grade? I know. I decided to call Arimura. Our friends were lying. Damn it. This was the first time I could remember where she hadn't picked up the phone. Fine, I'd send a text. I waited, but got no answer. What the hell? What was happening here? A black shadow started to press down on my heart. Did this have something to do with the other strange things that were happening around me? Or was my earlier guess right, and Arimura and the others were trying to prank me? I wasn't going to get anywhere sitting around all day waiting for an answer. I ended up going to Cafe Lax, where we were supposed to meet. If I went there, I should be able to find her. Even if it was a prank, my friends would be there, eagerly awaiting my arrival. Either way, I'd learn something. Either we find out our friends are dicks, or I don't know. I went into the cafe and looked around from a slightly concealed vantage point.
What are you doing?
Oh, well,
Whatever, she's been waiting for you.
oh, okay. Huh? Wait a second. What did you say?
She's been waiting for you.
Look, over there.
Oh,
I adjusted my glasses and took another look.
I'm so glad you came. I've been waiting for you, Miyashiro.
Is this going to be an older Uki? I don't. Yeah, well, we did know that they're kind of dicks, but she was Yume Aozaki. All thought evaporated from my mind. The world quickly lost its color, and all the noise around me seemed to fade away. The only thing I could see was the girl in front of me. Huh? A shock like a gunshot went through my chest. Her silken hair, her long eyelashes, her oval eyes like stars, her perfect nose, her lips the color of pale cherry blossoms. Her chest was the perfect size, not too large and not too small, and her hips were curvy but not too curvy. What the fuck? Takure. Her skin was smooth, and it glowed like there was a light shining from within her. And more than anything, her beautiful smile as she looked at me. Every part of her body seemed to have been blessed by the goddess of beauty herself. Moe-can.
Miyashiro?
Yes, she was an angel. She was a miracle come down from heaven. She was customized to be exactly what I wanted. There was no exaggeration. It was the only way I could think of it. I was looking at the very incarnation of everything I'd ever wanted in a girl. What could I call this except a miracle? All the doubts in the back of my mind crumbled away, like sand blown by the wind. All the girls in the lower classes at Hekiho had told me they'd never heard of Yume Aozaki, but she was right here, right in front of me. What other fact could I possibly need?
What's wrong, Miyashiro?
Okay. In order to get our bad end, we are going to have a negative delusion here. No, I didn't need anything else. Everything was right in front of me. Believe and you shall be saved. Um, did you wait long? Just as I took a step towards her, hmm, I heard loud footsteps coming up the outside stairs. Yeah, I I'm hoping I'm wrong for it being older Uki. But yeah, if so, hopefully this is an alternate timeline or some shit. The footsteps stopped and then I heard the door open. I turned and saw. What did we see? Who was that? I turned around. Oh, hey! How you doing, Nico? Huh? I froze in place when I saw who it was. The temperature in my body dropped rapidly and my heart turned to ice. It was her. Nico Haida, the pyrokinetic I thought was dead. My stomach started to shake from the tension. The terror dried up my throat and all the nerves in my body seemed to short out. My knees were shaking. I need to run, or she'd kill me. She'd kill me. But the sheer hatred in her eyes overwhelmed me to the point where I couldn't move a single muscle. I couldn't move. Everything was stuck in place. My body wasn't moving, even though I told it to. It's all your fault. Die! The woman in front of me said nothing, but it felt like I could hear her whispering to me. Ah. A scream burst from my throat, and the next second, ah! My body burst into flames. Strangely, there wasn't that much pain, but my brain was telling me clearly that I was in mortal danger. There was the terrible smell of scorching protein and burning hair. Burns do a lot more damage to the body than people think. Burns over just half the body were enough to kill you. From the intensity of the heat, I could tell that over 80% of my body had been burned. And they were probably third-degree burns, too. Third-degree burn is a burn that damages all the layers of skin as well as the tissue underneath. Second-degree and higher burns require immediate hospitalization. A third-degree burn was bad enough that instead of pain, you felt nothing at all. There was no way to save me. The pyrokinetic flames were burning me alive. I rolled around and tried to put out the fire as best as I could, but it was simply the last impulsive struggle of my survival instincts. The fire was so hot that all the oxygen around me had vanished, and I was starting to suffocate. Why was this happening? I thought she was dead. So why? As everything started to fade away, I could see Uki walking up to me, crying and sniffling. In her hand was the beautiful D-sword. The last thing I saw was the way it shone in the light of the fire. All right, and we have hit bad end 2. All right, we are actually going to end here for tonight, keeping to the shorter solo streams for a little bit. Next stream, Thursday, 10 o'clock Eastern, 7 o'clock Pacific. I don't have any announcements, so that's it. Yeah. Thanks for hanging out, all. See you on Thursday. Bye.